Hello everybody, and welcome to your full moon video for the full moon of the 8th and 9th of July 2017. Why 2 dates? Because the full moon was just so wonderful, we just wanted to hold it over for another night. I'm only kidding. It's 2 days because if you're actually in Central Mountain or Pacific time zone in the States, then this particular full moon is going to take place on the 8th. And the moon will be at its exactitude at about 6 minutes past 5 a.m. in the UK. If you want to know what time zone that is in your particular neck of the woods, you can look it up online and you can find it out, because hey, if I was to speak every single time zone, that would be really boring, wouldn't it? It'd sound like a train director. Hey, you know what? While I'm on topic, you may not actually believe it, but sometimes us astrologers are a little bit of a shy lot, you know, and it's sometimes hard to like turn on this camera and look into it every time, and all of a sudden you've got this thought, there's going to be lots of people watching me. And so the moment you turn it on, you get all like, you know, you get all like kind of hesitant initially, and you go, what am I going to say? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I say the right thing? What if I can't say anything at all? But anyway, you're not here to listen to me babble, or maybe you are. I really don't know. I think that you're actually probably here to listen to me talk about the full moon, rather than going on endlessly about shyness in front of cameras and all sorts of things like that, right? And who would want to sit around and listen to that go on endlessly? By the way, who would want to be in a really crappy situation and let that situation go on endlessly? And I think that's what we're actually here to talk about, right? Because in one area of each of our lives with this particular full moon, there has been a situation that we've all been far too willing to accept for way too long, right? And now it's time to stop accepting it, really. This particular full moon is in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra. Let's talk a little bit about Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra, and then we're going to come back and talk about some of the planets that are interacting with this particular full moon. Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra gives the power to grant an unchallengeable victory. But that kind of only shows a small fragment of this nakshatra, right? Because when you hear that, immediately your thoughts are, you know, right, this gives determination. This gives determination to break through those things that are restricting one. And actually, it does do that, right? But quite often, what precedes this is what I like to call somewhat of a chiseling process, right? One part of you might begin to build this desire for a change, only you come up against resistance because you've got the right idea, but you're going about it in all the wrong ways. And so you need to go through this chiseling process in order to see things a little more clearly, to broaden your perspective so that you have a clearer vision of what actually needs to be done, right? That's one side of it, having a clearer vision of what actually needs to be done. But equally, sometimes we can proceed on with a situation out of ignorance, right? And then we get a wake-up call because of all the difficulty that we've been through, right? But at least with that wake-up call, we wake up and we make those changes. Now, this particular full moon is going to be shedding its rays on a combust Mars. And that combust Mars is in Pusha Nakshatra. And that combust Mars, when planets are combust, they tend to signify something that an individual feels an incompatibility with in their life. And wherever Mars rules in your particular horoscope, that's going to be where the incompatibility is, right? And most likely within that particular area, you have been too accepting of a situation, all too willing to work within limitations which have been kind of hindering you. And you're the one who's been making the decisions to kind of keep yourself in this situation, right? And as this energy builds, the full moon is also going to be forming, within like a day or so, an angle to Mercury in its own nakshatra. And what's going to happen with that particular energy? And what is that nakshatra? It's Ashadha Nakshatra. With that particular energy, this feeling that it's time to do something and it's time to find a solution, and you're beginning to see the solution. The only thing is with this energy, you're going to become almost obsessed with creating a change in a particular manner. Why are you becoming obsessed? Well, it's high time, right? And obviously, we know sometimes when planets are in Ashadha Nakshatra and bringing out more of its difficult qualities, there can be the capacity to be short-tongued, which doesn't mean that your tongue kind of hides in the back of your mouth. As a matter of fact, it goes like this, right? Or actually, maybe it says a lot of things that are just really, harsh. And, well, sometimes the truth needs to out. We can say that side of it. But on another level, maybe it can out in a gentler manner. And maybe the things that need to be spoken can be spoken in a calmer manner, right? Also interacting with this particular full moon period, but not with the moon in general, is you've got Jupiter, which is in Chitra Nakshatra, which is obviously governed over, as per Vimshottari Dasha, by Mars. And that's got you in a position where you're feeling disillusioned with the circumstances that you're dealing with, right? And that disillusionment is becoming to the point that you're beginning to recognize that to do anything else other than to create a change in your life would be ethically wrong, right? And sometimes we reach those impasses where, we've been kind of putting up with something for too long, and we know that it's not right for us. As a matter of fact, it may have felt wrong for a really long period of time, but we just accept it. We become tolerant. We put up with it. We just go, you know what? I'm just going to kind of keep calm about it until we reach a point where we recognize, you know what? Me just kind of sticking with this and letting this happen, it's not helping myself. It's not helping anybody else. In addition, if it's not helping me, sure, that may sound selfish. It may sound like, oh, I'm only in it for myself. But, if you're not taking care of your own needs, whose needs are you going to take care of, right? Because you'll be coming from a space of being incomplete. So in addition to that, basically Jupiter and Venus are also making an angle with each other. And Venus is in Rohini Nakshatra. And it's giving you the capacity to make some very productive changes in your life over this coming full moon cycle, probably within several days of the full moon, the other side of the full moon. So, I'm not going to say sit tight, because you shouldn't sit tight, okay? As a matter of fact, you should, kind of get on the ball in order to create these much needed changes, because the fog, the mist, it's all beginning to clear. One little hint for you, though. One little hint. In the back of your mind, there may be this thing that's going on, which is saying, I'm right, that other person is wrong. I'm ethical, that other person is unethical, right? This is part of the reflection of the interaction between Rahu and Ketu, with Rahu and Magha Nakshatra and Ketu and Shatabhisha Nakshatra. If you keep on with that particular perspective, you're ultimately going to recognize that, you know what, maybe you're wrong. Maybe they're not right. Maybe you're not right. What's right? What's wrong? Right? I think that's all a matter of perception. And obviously, we all have to be governed by our own heart. And that is important, right? But keep in the back of your mind that what is right for you may not be right for somebody else. But you have to make that decision which is right for you. What's wrong for you might be right for somebody else, but you still have to make the decision on what's wrong for you. Okay, so it's a time of making decisions. It's a time of being determined to create a shift, a change in your life, but a shift and a change that's based upon a greater level of awareness. And we've got a lot of planets that are lining up in dharmic areas of their nakshatras, saying that ethically to continue with the particular situation that you've been coping with for far too long is absolutely wrong. And it's time, high time, that you made a shift. If you'd like to know a little bit more about where this may be impacting your life, or a little bit more about anything in general as it relates to your particular horoscope, I should mention that I offer a vast range of astrological services, which are available through my website. You should see a link within the video somewhere around right now. That's going to do it for a look at the full moon in Uttara Ashadha Nakshatra for the 8th and the 9th of July, 2017. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.